Hello, everyone. Hello, guys. How are you guys on today? Guess what time it is? It is story time with Ms. Doris. I'm so excited to have an awesome book for you guys on today. Today's story we're going to be reading is The Emperor's New Clothes. The Emperor's New Clothes. I have an awesome story for you on today. And today's letter we're doing in sign is going to be the letter N. Today's letter in sign is the letter N. Hello, Shakana. Hello, Shaquavia. Hello, Minerva. How are you on today? But before we get started with our story, I would like to greet everyone all over the world. I would like to say hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some, good night. Someone is going to bed somewhere in the world, but guess what? You are just in time for story time with Ms. Doris. I do own the copyrights to the Storytime song that is playing in the background. So shout outs to all of you out there in Storytime Land. Happy birthday to those that are celebrating a birthday on today. Guys, don't forget, I am a CHW community health worker. So you guys need any resources, you know where the business office is. Always stop by. But we're going to go ahead on and get started with our story. Today's story we're going to be reading is The Emperor's New Clothes. And we have the signed letter of N, in which we're going to be doing on today. So we have the capital N and we have the small n. So this is the big letter N and this is the small letter N. So let's go ahead on and get those hands up, guys. Put those fingers up, Minerva and Shaquavia. We're doing sign language, guys. So let me see those hands. Sophie and Royce and Poopas and August, September. Put those hands up, guys. Let's see those fingers. We are going to be doing the letter N in sign language. So we can take these two fingers, take the thumb, put it across and relax it, and like this. This is the letter N. Let's try it one more time. Bend the last two fingers, take the thumb across, bend those two fingers over. This is the letter N. This is the letter N. So hands down, thumb, the letter N. So let's do it one more time. We are doing the letter N in sign language. Let's do it again. Thumb across, letter N. Now, let's do it without saying anything. Let's do the letter N in our mind. So picture it in your mind as you're doing the letter N. Get ready, set, go. Good job. Good job. So let's do it one more time without saying anything. We are doing the letter N in sign. Well, let's do it a little faster. You guys are getting so good at this. Give yourselves a hand. So let's do a letter N. Shout outs to you, Isaiah Moses. Hello, Isaiah Moses. It was an awesome pleasure in meeting you on today, you, Mom, and Dad. Hello, Miss Cheyenne. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Well, let's do this letter N a little faster. Ready, set, go. See if you can do it 3 times without even looking at the letter N. Well, let's do it once first. We're going to do the letter N without looking at the letter. Now, let's do it a little faster. Let's do it 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. And for those of you that are left-handed, it'll go like this. Down, cross the letter N. So you can do it your left hand or your right hand. You can do the letter N with your left or your right hand. Most people can't multitask and do this like this, but guess what? You can try it. So I have my right hand and my left hand, the letter N. You can even do it to the music. Good job. Give yourselves a hand. You guys did an awesome job. Let's go ahead on and get started with our quick story on today. The Emperor's New Clothes. Many years ago, there lived an emperor. Let's turn the music down just a tad bit. Oh, I'm trying to turn it down some. Sherry to you, sing to you, tell you all just what to do. Many years ago, there lived an emperor who adored fashionable clothing and dressing stylishly. He spent all his money on clothes made of the finest fabrics and most sophisticated designs. He didn't care for the royal responsibilities and he took no interest in governing. In fact, the emperor never went out of the public places unless it was to make an appearance to show off the latest addition to his ever-expanding wardrobe. The emperor had an outfit for every hour of the day, should he choose to change that often. He loved donning his clothes and admiring himself in the full-length mirror of his royal dressing chamber. There was even a saying amongst the people that the emperor is in his dressing room instead of sitting in council. The city that the emperor lived in was very, very large, and many visitors came and went all the time. One day, the two swindlers arrived, claiming to be the magnificent weavers. Shout outs to UTM. Hello, Amelia. Hello, Harmony. Hello, Tamelia. Hello, Ari. Hello, Eris. Hello, August. How are you on today? They so-called weavers declared that they could weft clothes into the most beautiful design, but it was their most unusual claim to fame that the emperor's attention. The clothing made from their fabrics and the remarkable ability of being invisible to anyone simple-minded or who was not suited for their job. This is incredible, thought the emperor. If I wore such clothing, I'd be able to watch of my officials aren't doing their jobs properly, and it would be easy to spot who is simple-minded. I must get myself some of these clothes made, cried the emperor. With that, he generously paid the swindlers more than the high price they demanded to ensure that his clothes would be the best they had ever made. The swindlers swiftly assembled their looms and pretended to set to work straight away. It all looked very professional, minus one obvious detail. There was nothing on their looms. The so-called weavers demanded the finest silk and the strongest thread, and it was given to them at once. They snuck the luxurious materials into their own bags and continued their imaginary weaving. The emperor was quite pleased with himself for hiring the so-called weavers, and was anxious to see what the progress they had made. Although confident in himself and doubtful of the likelihood, he was still nagged by the possibility that he would visit the weavers and not see anything on the looms. He decided to send one of the most hard-working, trustworthy officials to monitor the progress in his place. Meanwhile, the news of the magical clothing had spread throughout the city. Excuse me. And everyone was now intrigued by the possibility of discovering the uselessness or stupidity of their neighbor. The official sent to visit the swindlers knew, as everyone did, about the magical cloth. When he arrived at the workshop, he saw firsthand the swindlers toiling with great effort to empty the looms. Excuse me. The official was about to blurt out there was nothing there when he stopped himself. Is it possible that I am simple-minded? He suddenly panicked. It can't be true. I must pretend otherwise, or I'll be out of my prestigious job. The swindlers noticed the official pause, and one of them said, "Well, what do you think? Isn't it beautiful?" The official cleared his throat, and despite the obviously empty loom, gushed, "Yes, yes, of course. It's wonderful. Absolutely exquisite. Such fine craftsmanship." The swindlers acted quite pleased with themselves and continued laboring away. They made quite a good show of cutting invisible thread with their scissors and readjusting the invisible cloth that wasn't there at all. Oh, wow. Upset that he was not as smart as he thought he was, the official reported back to the emperors that the weavers in the workshop were making wonderful progress and that his new clothes would be ready sometime soon. Uh-oh, be careful. I don't know, because everything they're doing is invisible. You don't see anything on the tables. The emperor was thrilled with the news, but he was not a patient man. A few days later, he was again curious to know what progress had been made since the last visit. He took the opportunity to send along a different official to see if this man was also competent. Meanwhile, the swindlers demanded more silk, more money, and more gold thread. As the first official's report, he had been glowing. The emperor agreed to each request. Once again, the swindlers pocketed the high-quality materials. Soon the second official paid the crafty weavers a visit. It was the same story as with the first official. The second official came to the same conclusion, and out of fear of losing his job, exclaimed that the lovely design was most exquisite he'd ever seen. By now, the emperor was quite satisfied with the two reports. He decided that it was time to visit the weavers himself. Accompanied by the two officials he had visited before him, he arrived to check on the progress. "Your Majesty, isn't this the finest design you have ever seen?" gushed the two officials. The emperor stood before the looms in silent horror, for he saw nothing there. But there was no way that he was going to make this confession. He praised the swindlers for their work and superb design and agreed to wear the new clothing in the upcoming grand parade. The day of the parade, the emperor stripped down to his underwear. When he was dressed, although it was plain to see that in fact he wasn't the emperor's attendant, ooh and ah, a perfect fit, such delicate cloth. The emperor looked at himself in the mirror and pretended that he was pleased with his fine new outfit. A chamberlain bent down and pretended to pick up the emperor's train. He held out his hands as though he was in fact holding something and didn't dare to pretend otherwise. The emperor marched alone in the parade, everyone watching, pretending that these new clothes were his finest yet. No one dared admit that they didn't see his new outfit. That could mean that they weren't smart or that they were unfit for their jobs. Suddenly the voice of a small child rang out. "But he isn't wearing anything." It wasn't long before the child's remarks spread out through the crowd. It's true, he isn't wearing anything at all. Everyone shouted at last. Oh my goodness. Story time with Miss. The emperor cringed. He was beginning to think that it was true, that everyone was right. He decided that there was nothing left to do but continue along. Followed by the chamberlain, he carried his train and really wasn't there at all. The emperor held his head high and proudly marched down the street. Meanwhile, somewhere on the outskirts of the city, two swindlers carried away heavy loads but smiled nonethelessly. They were never seen again. The end. That was an awesome, awesome story on today. The Emperor's New Clothing. I enjoyed reading you guys an awesome story on today. Remember, make sure you're sharing Storytime videos with your family and friends. And I appreciate all of you that are sharing and viewing our live Storytime readings on our Storytime page with Miss Doris. You guys are awesome. I love all of you. Don't forget, today's letter was the letter N. Today's letter was the letter N. Guys, if you're not feeling well, always let someone know that you're not feeling well, and they'll take really good care of you. And when you're out and about, make sure you are practicing safety first. When you approach those establishments that says you must wear your mask, always put your mask on. Don't take your mask off, guys, unless someone tells you to. I enjoyed reading your live story on today. Take care, and remember, if you're not smiling on today, I hope once you see me Storytime smile that you are smiling. Take care. Have an awesome day. Tomorrow is Wednesday. On Wednesday, we read a Christian story. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow. God bless you all. See you soon.